Live from Orlando, Florida, and the ACE Learning Center at Gym Supply, it's Beyond Clean with Dave, a weekly broadcast for professionals in environmental health services around the world. Your host is David Thompson, Director of Education for Gym Supply, and his mantra is, I am a janitor and I save lives. And now let's listen to Beyond Clean with Dave and today's guest at the ACE Learning Center in sunny downtown Orlando.
Good afternoon, folks. I'm Dave Thompson. I am the Education Director here at the ACE Academy of Cleaning Excellence in sunny Orlando, Florida. And I'm also President of the Green Clean Institute. I'm your weekly host for this broadcast, and every Friday afternoon I will talk to you about three things that are important to our show. That is healthy, progressive, and positive. Now, every Friday afternoon, we do archive these events, and that's on beyondcleanwithdave.com. This past week, we were joined by a number of people from all over Florida, and we had a carpet care cleaning class here at the ACE Academy of Cleaning Excellence. Last week, you may have caught Jason Moore. He was with me on the show. He was one of the first graduates of our master class in 2017, and it was a great show. You need to catch that. Now, today we have another guest with us in the house, and he is here to talk to us about an issue of engineered water and how it relates to cleaning and sanitizing. I'd like you to welcome Larry Smith with PathoSans. Larry?
Hi, Dave.
Thanks for coming in and making the trip.
Thank you for the invite. It's nice to see you.
So let's see, you came down from Daytona area?
Daytona, right, yeah.
Okay, so that is down. I'm getting my geographics in Florida right now.
Amen.
All right, okay, so that's a journey that you came on this morning, but there was a journey for engineered water, and I think anybody in the audience, this is a journey. So let's open the show, but what's the journey?
Good point. I was always involved in the food industry, and in 2004, I went to work at a startup called Electrolyzer Corporation, and it was an electrolyzed water company in Boston, and I was with them for 5 years, great years. We were making a lot of impact, primarily in the hospitality industry. And we were acquired in 2009 by Ecolab. You all know who Ecolab is.
Oh, yeah.
And the very next day, we're all looking for a job.
So Ecolab bought them and then put you out.
Then put it out of business. I guess we didn't fit their business model.
Okay, well, it happens.
But I was a consultant in the industry for a while. I ran a company, and now I work national sales for another company in the electrolyzed water industry.
So you've not been in engineered water since its onset, but fairly close.
Well, if you think about the onset, it probably goes back since water and salt and electricity came together 150 years ago.
Well, you're not that old.
I'm definitely not that old.
Right, okay, so you weren't on the onset,
Right.
but maybe for the cleaning industry using engineered water.
Yes, I think it's probably 20 years old at the very most as far as being out there within the industry, but it is certainly making its impact now.
Okay, so there's the reasons we use everything. You and I have talked about some of the reasons. Tell the audience, why am I going to think about this?
Well, I guess the first thing is we're a chemically dominated society, and if I can tell you my little story, my first year out of high school, I needed to save some money to go to college, and I worked in a supermarket washing floors. Honest to goodness, I took Top Job, Mr. Clean, and Less Toil, and mixed them together and washed the floors.
No.
Yes, and on top of that, Dave, and I know you're going to hate me for this, I used to take my mop bucket and try to see how many aisles I could get down without changing the water.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Okay, so now you and I, we kind of grew up in the same time. You know, I'm a chronic asthmatic, and I did some of these things. I did it with stripper solutions. You did it with cleaning agents. Right. But what we're talking about here, and I think this is our conversations we've always had, we want to talk about this simply because this is what we've done to ourselves, and we don't want you to do it to you. So this is why we're talking about this. When I look at engineered water, what am I looking for?
Well, engineered water, electrolyzed water, electrochemically activated water, however you
all
want to
those
talk
names.
about, all those names, is salt, water, and electricity coming together and producing those two solutions.
All right.
That's what it's all about. It's nothing more than that. It's on-site generation where you put a unit on the wall.
Okay, folks, that's on-site generation. So that's what we're talking about. We don't generate this somewhere else. We do it right in our building.
You do it right in your building. You produce your cleaner, you produce your sanitizer, and you have everything that you need. I mean,
Okay, I know I keep interrupting. Go ahead.
Well, no, that's all right. I was at a hotel yesterday, and the cart that came out that the housekeeper was using had 5 different spray bottles on it. Now, number one, each of those spray bottles had poison in it, as far as I'm concerned. Number two, once you finish spraying one, you go spray another one, now you're mixing them.
We got this whole,
Yeah, and that's versus 2 solutions that you're using in very safe, very natural solutions.
okay, so this technology that we're using, you're saying 2 solutions instead of 5 or 15 or whatever.
Right.
Explain.
Well, let me back up a little bit. I want to tell you about how we produce those 2 solutions.
All right.
So we have what's called a cell, and that's probably the most important part of electrolyzed water. And in that cell, and we'll use a very simple cell, a 3-compartment cell. In the center cell of the cell, you have the salt water going through. Remember salt water and electricity?
Okay, so that's those arrows coming down the middle.
Right, down the middle.
All right.
And then separating those 2 outside cell walls, we have a membrane ionic exchange, which only lets certain ions go through. And then you have a positive electrode and a negative electrode.
Okay, so that's the red lines. That's what's creating the electricity, and we get negative on one side, positive on the other side. It produces.
Well, we're taking that center solution is salt, NaCl, we're ripping it apart. And Dave, what we're creating is hypochlorous on one side and sodium hydroxide on the other side.
So that's our 2 solutions we
that's
should
your-
have on the cleaning cart instead of 5.
That's correct.
All right, okay.
That's correct, because it's perfect for so many different areas.
Okay, so we've got the hypochlorous and we got the sodium hydroxide.
Right.
Which one's a cleaner, which one's a disinfectant,
Okay.
and which one's safe?
Well, both are safe.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
They're even better than safe because they're healthy. So,
All right.
But the sodium hydroxide is a cleaner, and pretty much every cleaner out there has sodium hydroxide. That's the basic building block. And then from there, fragrances are added, colorings added, and different chemicals are added. Sodium hydroxide is sodium hydroxide. That's all we produce. So if you use it on your carpets, you'll be amazed at what you bring up because it's all the residue from previous chemicals.
That's just
that
a
have been-
cleaner. That's just a cleaner.
Then on the other side, we have the hypochlorous. Hypochlorous is what's in your body that kills bacteria.
Okay, so my body's generating hypochlorous?
Yes, your body is generating hypochlorous. Yep. So you know if it's surviving in your body or helping to kill bacteria in your body, that it's going to be.
It'll help kill bacteria on a surface.
It will.
Carpet or whatever it might be.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Yep,
So we're not saying we're sanitizing the carpet then, are we?
Oh, you can sanitize the carpet, sure. If you have a carpet where you've had an animal come in or something of that sort and stain the carpet, you want to clean it first, and then you want to sanitize it.
So we can use one product to clean, one
Right.
product to sanitize. All
Right.
right.
Yeah.
So we've got the 2 different things, but I got all these little grimy things that sit on the surfaces and I'm not supposed to touch. And what are you doing for me there?
Well, bacteria, pathogens, germs, however you want to call it. We can take a bacteria and penetrate the cell wall and blow it up within 10 to 15 seconds.
We're blowing it up, not suffocating.
Blow it up, versus most chemicals that are out there they say right on the label, spray on surface, which we know is wrong. You want to put it on the surface
No, we don't spray.
and keep wet for 10 minutes. Well, guess what?
What?
Nobody does that, number one. And number two, by the time the 10 minutes is up, it's ineffective.
No. People are following directions.
Right. So unfortunately, what that does is we're killing off the weak bacteria, and the strong bacteria are surviving. That's why in hospitals, you have over 100,000 people every single year dying of hospital-acquired infections. That's twice the amount that died in an automobile accident.
Whoa.
So now you see why sanitizing and disinfecting is so important. Clean that surface and then clean.
Okay, but we're talking about a lot of other places. We're talking about hotels and we're talking about all this. There's a lot of industries that we've got to do all this killing of bacteria on. I can use this stuff everywhere. I mean, what about a health club?
Well, quite often I get asked, who can use our product? It would be easy for me to tell you who could not use your product.
All right.
Everybody, every single building that now has cleaning chemicals and sanitizing chemicals in there.
Well, I can use this at home then.
Of course. And just touching on health clubs, there are some Planet Fitnesses that use electrolyzed water, and
All right.
you can imagine how a health
I didn't know
facility is, yeah, and you can imagine how filthy they could get after a certain.
Well, I mean,
or schools and gyms and cafeterias.
Well, that's where I was going to go.
Right.
Well, you take a health club and then you take a school, a public building, where everybody's doing all this, a lot of activity. All right. So benefits.
Oh, many benefits. I guess probably the first one is so inexpensive. I mean, you're talking, and this includes the cost of the systems, 5, 6, 7, 8 cents a gallon. Okay, You're talking that it can be used on all surfaces as far as cleaning, even carpets. It's approved for carpet cleaning.
Okay.
When it comes to, well, some hospitals are using, the only thing they're using is electrolyzed water in the hospitals, and that includes the operating room. Think how dirty an operating room gets, how much bacteria is in there. Think about what happens in that operating room when they're performing. You can use electrolyzed water in there and killing the bacteria.
All right, so we went through all the different things. Where do I can't just go to my tap and hit the tap.
No, we different companies in the industry manufacture electrolyzed water, chemically activated water systems. So there's a number of different sizes, 4 or 5 different sizes. So in a hospital, you probably have a unit that's about the size of a refrigerator, because you need a lot of volume, you need a higher parts per million, and you need a higher strength on the sodium hydroxide.
Well, and if I remember from some of our conversations earlier, we're using it on a vast amount of areas on a daily basis.
Oh, definitely.
Multiple times a day.
Yes.
So we use a lot of capacity.
Right, and in the operating rooms, you actually want to spray the electrolyzed water into the air to kill the bacteria in the air. Because you can go out and clean, and 5 minutes later, bacteria in the air is settled on your surfaces. So you actually spray that operating room.
Okay, so let's get out of the hospital.
Okay. Well, hotels are a great opportunity for electrolyzed water, or building services. But talking about hotels, you know, whether it's a 100-room hotel or a 500-room hotel, you can put a system on the wall again. You can have different size tanks, as we note here. You might want more electrolyzed water in the hypochlorous industry, or hypochlorous aspect versus the cleaning aspect.
Okay, so you're talking about the units can generate on-site the cleaning solution based on my needs, not just on what the unit does. But if I need to produce more disinfectant, sanitizer, then I need cleaner, I can adjust that.
If the people in the industry know what your needs are, they can make some adjustments for you.
Okay, so I'm not the size of either one of those. I'm a building service contractor. I've got a number of places. I'm an in-house provider like a school. I don't need all of that. Is there something else for me?
Well,
I mean, size-wise?
you do need it.
No, I don't mean I don't need it. I
But you
just
do
mean
need it.
size-wise.
Size-wise, you know, if you're a large hotel, we'll say 5,000 rooms or something like that, you can have a system with probably 125-gallon tanks, and then automatic bottle fillers, because you're filling 5, 6, 7, 800 bottles a day. But now, if you really want to go down small, if you look at the doctor's office, dentist's office.
Oh, okay.
Or your home.
Yeah. Okay, take care of my home.
In fact, I'll be glad to sell you one. You're talking a desktop model. And it's a great system. It'll produce each solution in about 90 seconds.
Well, now, 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
Okay, so it doesn't take long to produce a bottle of product.
Right.
This looks like a Keurig machine, you know, like I get my tea out of.
Oh, it's much better. It's much better. It's much healthier for you.
Oh.
It's much healthier for your home. Get rid of all those other chemicals and just use sodium hydroxide.
Okay, so I don't need all those stuff in the bottom of the cabinet
that's
that all the kids can
That's
get to.
correct.
All right, so we've went through all the different types, went through the benefits, and we know we don't spray. I think, folks, if you were watching our class or our show last week, you found out that we talked about not spraying, we squirt. So this changes everything. Larry, I thank you for coming down today, driving down from, I want to keep saying Daytona.
Daytona's good.
Okay, all right. And you're going back to St. Augustine.
St. Augustine, right, yes.
So you can need to get on the road pretty quick.
Always need to get on the road pretty quick.
So the last words?
Go for it. If you want to take care of the people, the planet, and profit, this is the way to go.
This is the way to go. Okay. So, you know, sometimes we have some people that inquire from us about our classes that we have, and we do have an engineered water class that's coming up on this very subject. I know 15 minutes wasn't a lot. You can't learn a lot. So if you're looking for one of our classes, you can go online on the GYM website. That's gymsupply.net. Now, if you've had a question about what we do on the show, you want to look at a past show, or even if you want to be on the show like Larry or call in, you know, you can send me an email, beyondclean@gymsupply.net. Now, next week, I'm going to be joined by Lucas from ISSA. He's going to be calling in from Chicago. I think he would probably rather drive down here like you, but it's a little further.
Right.
Anyway, he's going to be calling in, and we're going to be talking about what ISSA has done for the certifications. And they put together what's called the Cleaning Industry Training Standard. Now, if you haven't heard about it, he's going to explain it to us. We have several programs that are certified through that. Should be a very informative time with Lucas next Friday, right here, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, live from Orlando. So until next week, keep changing your future. Keep those changes healthy, positive, and proactive. And remember my mantra, I am a janitor and I save lives. Larry?
Amen.
Thanks for coming in and joining
Thank you.
me.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it.
You've been listening to Beyond Clean with Dave and his guest. Sharing what you learn with others is what turns knowledge into professional development. This weekly broadcast is archived for just that reason. Dave would love to hear from you, whether it is to share your experiences privately or on air with Dave. Have a request, need to learn more, or want to take a full certification course on a subject? Just reach out to us at Gem Supply and we will help you access the right solution for your needs. Live classes are hosted each week at one or more of our 4 locations in Central Florida. These range from a 1-hour class to a week-long ISSA Master Technician training. Need Dave to bring a class to you? The Mobile Certification Center is waiting to come to your door. Watching from abroad or simply need access online, our accredited cleaning expert courses are waiting for you 24/7, 365. Dave is waiting to hear from you either at beyondclean@gemsupply.net or at 800-422-9886. If you are in the area, Dave would love to have you come to the ACE Learning Center for a visit or to schedule your appearance on the show, 1312 West Washington, Orlando. Remember, janitors save lives. Be sure to put us on your schedule to watch next week as we present another broadcast of Beyond Clean with Dave.